Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. I am your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm privileged to welcome a well known photographer, historian, and archivist, Mr. Aditya Arya. Aditya, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Ashutosh, and I'm really happy to be on this platform. And thank you for inviting me once again.
Thank you. Aditya is the founder of an absolutely amazing museum, the Museo Camera Center for the Photographic Arts. So, Aditya, let's start talking about your museum in Gurgaon. And I must say that it's a beautiful museum. I've visited your museum once. I've eaten at your restaurant 4 or 5 times. So let us start with saying, what was your motivation to set up a museum for cameras?
Ashutosh, I studied history and in college, and I started photography at the age of 20, and I started with all kind of travel magazines and few advertising companies. This was in way back in 1980, and something which used to always interest me was the history of my own profession. So while I was actually traveling on assignments on self-created projects also, I would meet people, old practitioners, senior practitioners, and I would check out all the kabaddi bazaars of the country. And later on, that became an obsession to go check out each and every kabaddi bazaar and to find out what's where. And I'm telling you, in 80s, the kabaddi bazaars were beautiful.
Absolutely.
The junkyards were, they were full of fascinating objects. From cars, trucks, to cameras, to record players, and all kind of. And I would go talk to these guys. I would go read about these things. See, we come from a generation where I spent my time in the libraries.
Correct.
There was no Google. So life was, go read, go check out. And of course, there was no Google, so one did not waste time on things like WhatsApp and Facebook, and so it was like a actual physical information, reading, writing, taking notes, and which is far more fascinating than okay, today information is available to you on touch of your finger, but actually looking, digging out, opening books and flipping. That was, and one thing led to another thing. So that's how my journey began.
Amazing.
And, I must tell you, I've never done a job in my life. I never worked with any company and things. I just live from day to day. And I keep telling people, hey, live for work for yourself. You can create miracles.
Amazing. You're probably one of the finest example of entrepreneurship then, and let's continue with your collection. When I was reading about you, you have cameras from over 100 countries. First, I had no idea 100 countries made cameras. And second, how did you collect these?
So many countries I visited, many countries I would locate something and request some friends to get it for me. And initially they would crib and I would say, no, come on. And then I would get them on auctions and get them shipped to India. And I must tell you, it's very funny. One day I was coming back from France and at the Delhi airport, early morning flight, and you land up at 2:30, 3 in the morning, and the guy opened my bag and he saw these old bellow cameras and things besides my shooting equipment. So he said, "Ye sab kachra kya hai?" So I said, these are old cameras. ये सब कौन इस्तेमाल करता है? ये तो सब कचरा है.
Hmm.
So I said, well, I enjoy going through them. He said, no, up. I said, okay, I bought these. This is the
Receipts.
declaration.
Mhm.
Charge me.
Hmm.
He said, no, I'm going to, you are bringing junk into country.
Hmm. Okay.
So well, I'm not bringing junk into country. It's
Hmm.
like it's it's a piece of history. It's a piece of history of my profession.
Hmm.
And it's he said, नहीं ये सब कोई नहीं use होता ये सब बकवास है. So I said, okay. Then I said, okay, keep it. Next day I approached the commissioner and I said,
Hmm.
sir, this is it. This is. He actually looked at me and he says, can I visit your house and see
Mhm.
what you're doing with
Hmm.
this? I want to be sure that you're not a trader.
Mhm.
So I said, yeah, I'm not a trader into these things. And he came home next day morning
Hmm.
and he actually saw the collection.
Hmm.
I already had few thousand cameras by
Wow.
then. And then he called up his mm, juniors and said, you know, you have to also start reading, learning,
Hmm.
and try and understand what the person is doing.
Hmm.
And he was actually very happy to see what I was doing. And he said, please charge him what he's declaring. It's not junk. It's not, look at these beautiful little cameras and things and all. Uh, so he was, you run into these kind of people.
Hmm. So tell me, you just mentioned that at that time you had a few thousand cameras. How many do you have in the museum now?
Maybe I have 2,000, 3,000, and so it's not only cameras, it's
Mhm.
lenses, aperture,
Yeah, yeah.
shutters, all kind of paraphernalia, all kind of ephemera,
Mhm.
like old ads, and which connect the dots.
Mhm.
See, this museum is about the story of how photography evolved.
Mhm.
See, photography started with glass plates which were coated with silver,
Correct.
and the term which was used was the silver grains.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say the story of photography is how the silver grains turned into the pixels of today.
Correct.
So
Well
it's kind
said.
of very important for the born digital generation to understand and connect the dots, how the silver grains turned into pixels of today.
Mhm.
And this photography did not, I mean, okay, today you have 64 GB card, but this has a huge story attached to it.
Fascinating. So before I ask you any more questions, I'd love to get your view on what goes into making a good photograph,
Um,
other than, of course, your equipment.
I think it's the eye,
Okay.
it's the thought process,
Uh-huh.
which is important.
Okay.
So technique is one thing, but what is very important is the intent
Mhm.
and how you have used your tech to create that image.
Mhm.
So now I must tell you, like a painter or an artist, when he
Mhm.
starts his painting, he starts his canvas. It's a blank canvas.
Mhm.
Okay, rest is figment of his imagination. He says there is a tree, there is a
Mhm.
guy standing here, there is a. But when a photographer looks through the frame,
Mhm.
he actually recomposes, he crops, he cuts. So this whole medium is subtractive.
Mhm.
You are actually trying to remove things,
Mhm.
but a painter is adding.
Mhm.
That's an additive.
Mhm.
You say, okay, I won't like to have a streak of light coming in from here. You're adding something here. You're looking at everything and you say, hey, I'm going to look at this, and this is my frame.
What a great explanation. What a great, fantastic.
Thank you.
So tell me, from your personal perspective, do you prefer color or black and white?
Both. But black and white is a challenge because color has gives you ability to use the tone, many colors to express something. But here, the black and white, you have to really focus on the the idea, which is you don't have the advantage of colors to. So it's like asking, is it easier to make a silent movie or the one with sound? So you'll say, oh, sound takes care of lots of things. Silent is a lot more difficult.
Well said.
Because you have to really focus on the subject and how you're going to maneuver people into seeing. So black and white is a challenge.
Fantastic. My next question to you is that photography, which was earlier the classical cameras, and I still, whenever we are on vacation, love my SLR. But cameras now seem to be, I don't know if the right word is dying. Everything has gone to the phone. Correct.
So
you got my question. What's happening?
How it started from a room called camera obscura. Camera obscura in Latin means dark room, dark chamber. It used to be a room where the painters used to copy. When a judge says the proceedings will be held in camera, he means in his room.
Okay.
So camera is same as camera. So it's in Latin, and in certain languages they say camera. So it's so interesting how this camera has been, and this is same. The camera is our Hindi ka camera. How the camera has been shrinking, and today it is in your pocket.
Amazing.
So, it's the story of photography is also how the technology and the art and the craft has evolved.
And what is your view? How has it evolved? I'd love to get your perspective.
So, from large cameras to these small digital cameras, they're all tools, they're all devices. But the art of storytelling carries on, though the technology keeps taking you in a different direction. So it's technology. So what is the museum about? Is how this tech has evolved. So, I'm trying to connect the tech with the imaging, how the technology has been influencing the idea of creating images. Like in the Victorian times, you don't find people smiling in the images. Why? The process was very long. It could take between 5 seconds to 20 seconds to take a picture, and they had to be absolutely frozen.
And with the photographer with his head covered with a cloth.
So today, the technology allows you to shoot a bullet train or to shoot a bullet and freeze it. So see, this is where the tech is taking you. So for the first 50 years, people were very stiff, rigid, and people used to, a lot of people used to come and tell me, why is it that these guys in 19th century didn't smile in the pictures? I said, the technology did not allow them to smile even if they wanted to smile. Because if the exposure is 15 seconds, you can't be holding a smile for 15 seconds.
Understand. Fascinating. Fascinating. So my next question to you is that with so many mobile cameras coming, the number of photographs being taken is huge. To me, and I'm probably the same age or older than you, my view or my perspective of a photograph is that it's a whole range of memories that are kept there. When I talk to the young people, it's a function of their memory stick. So when they run out of memory stick, they delete the earlier ones.
So
what are your thoughts?
You answered my question. That one word, I call today's generation the delete generation.
Right.
They spend more time deleting, then creating. These
Correct.
film cameras with their limited exposures. So
Mm.
in a 35mm film, there were 36 exposures. In a
Mm.
120mm camera, there were 12 exposures. You
Mm.
had to actually, and there was no screen to check
No,
your image.
correct.
So you had to be technically very savvy and create the image in your mind and create a perfect image in 36 exposures. It was expensive. It was very expensive to
Correct.
buy film and thing.
Yeah.
Now what has happened is 64 GB card allows me to shoot non-stop and go cut and shoot 2000 images.
Mm.
And then I spent 2 hours going
Mm.
delete. So this delete button has destroyed the photography.
Mm.
There
Correct.
was no delete button. We come from
Absolutely.
time when there was no delete button.
Correct.
So the point is, the idea of something which allows you to step back,
Mm.
to redo constantly, and
Mm.
you keep making a mess is very different from the idea of creating one perfect image. Now
Mm.
you look at the pictures of Cartier-Bresson, you look at the pictures of famous photographers like Kulwant Roy or Sunil Jana or Mary Ellen Mark, and perfect images. Why? They were shooting on film. So the analog forced them to actually compose, think, and then press the button.
Mm.
Here, you press the button first, and then you say, "Koi baat nahi, delete."
एक और ले लेंगे.
Let's do it. We come from a generation where delete button did not exist, and we never had the liberty to delete images.
Well said. Well said. So let me now come back to the Camera Museum. You've set up an absolutely iconic kind of a museum. And my question to you is that what have been some of your challenges as you have built this amazing museum?
So I must tell you,
Mm.
today, Museo Camera, the Center for the Photographic Arts, is the single largest PPP, public-private partnership,
Correct.
signed in this country.
Mhm.
I was able to convince the officers that this place is needed. This kind of PPPs are needed,
Mm.
public-private partnerships, where I am bringing in my collection, opening it up to public,
Mm.
and the whole idea of a cultural space, a museum. Now, cultural spaces have many things. You have artifacts, you have art galleries, you have teaching rooms, you have workshop areas. So that it requires programming. Then you have to have a nice restaurant or a cafe or an F&B outlet. So all these ideas had to be put together, and the challenge was to be able to convince but I was extremely lucky to run into and interact with some of the brightest minds in our municipal corporation of Gurgaon those days. And we interacted over 7 months, and they said, we think we like your idea.
Okay.
So, it was a challenge but the beauty of it was all positive.
Amazing. Also tell me, what are some of your oldest cameras?
So I have a daguerreotype camera from 1860s. I have many hundreds of cameras from the 19th century, which also are very important for people to understand how slow the process was. So I'm talking about the slowness of photography here, was 19th century, where it used to take 2 hours to take one picture. Today, 64 GB card allows you to take 2000 pictures in a second.
Correct.
So how technology is moving and taking us in another direction.
Correct. And one more data point for our viewers and listeners. You're saying you got from the 19th century. When did the first photography photograph start?
So it was Nicéphore Niepce, and when he created his first image
Mhm.
in 1820s,
Mm.
but the first perfect imaging system, the process called daguerreotype,
Mhm.
was announced to the world in 1839.
Mhm.
So when Louis Daguerre, a Frenchman, went to the French government to patent his process
Mhm.
on the 19th August 1839, the French government actually denied him the patent. And
Okay.
they said, what you have discovered is a very important process.
Mhm.
So they actually paid him off
Mhm.
and they removed the patent from it and said, this is a gift to the mankind. So
Okay.
that is why 19th August is also celebrated
Mm.
as the World Photography Day.
See.
I'm trying to get the old document from 1839. How
Mm.
did that, what was that whole process which happened, which I have not been able to lay my hands
You
on.
know what
But
you're saying, Aditya, is so fascinating because today when we look at large software companies and we say that why have these grown, because it was an open platform, and you're saying that in 1839 someone in the French government gave an open platform to the government, and that's how creativity may have started.
absolutely. And you'll be surprised. French invented, English refined that system,
Mhm.
but it was George Eastman, an American from Rochester, New
Mm.
York, who went to Europe, picked up all the technology and brought it and set up one of the biggest marketing companies and
Correct.
biggest brand in the world.
Correct. Very well said. Very well said. So, Aditya, I've got time for a couple more questions.
Sure.
Um, and I cannot possibly talk about the museum and ignore your incredible restaurant. I just have to talk about it. So I wanted to ask you, you said that a museum or museo camera must have meeting rooms and conference rooms and, where people can learn. What was your logic of starting this absolutely incredible restaurant? And what is what goes into running a restaurant along with a museum?
A lot of challenges.
Hmm.
The quality of food and everything. We had to look for so we actually located this young man who was passionate. He had never done a restaurant in his life. So I had
Hmm.
to actually take the risk of saying, okay, we'll collaborate with you.
Hmm.
Um, a museum, a cultural space has to have many sources of sustainability.
Correct.
Um, and I'm very grateful uh, to these. I mean, how I thought about it.
Hmm.
Uh, During lockdown, we haven't had a single school here for last 17, 18 months.
Hmm.
We used to have on 20th March 2000, 16th March 2020,
Hmm.
we had 630 bookings from schools and colleges. People were lining up, coming here. Then by evening, we had to declare a lockdown, and the government declared a lockdown within 5 days.
Hmm.
But once the lockdown was lifted, people stepped out for food.
Hmm.
The schools and colleges are not open even
Correct.
today, but people come here for food.
Yeah.
They like the spaciousness
Mm.
of the of the thing. They like the open area where they feel very safe.
Mm.
So the idea was, uh, if somebody comes here
Mm.
once, why would he come here again?
Correct.
Okay, there may be an art gallery event. There may be a new show every month. We do a
Mm.
new art show, but why not offer them some some a kind of a F&B
Mhm.
outlet,
Mm.
which people can. People start coming here in the morning at 8 to have their breakfast. They hang
Mm.
around in the garden. They sit in the back
Yeah.
garden, and so it's you have to bring in people from
Mm.
all walks of life.
Mm.
And I also, I would still say that there are 10% or 15%, maybe 20%,
Mhm.
who walk into the museum and they love the food. And when these, sorry, I shouldn't be
Mhm.
uh, gender bias. So
Mhm.
some of these ladies, when they're going out, they say, "Oh, uh, is this a museum? We were in the museum." So then I said, "Yes, ma'am." Oh, what kind of museum is this? I said, "Yeah, you were having you. Oh, we enjoyed the food here thoroughly." I said, "Come on,
Mm.
let me show you the museum." I take them around and I said, "You don't have to buy a ticket, but I don't want you to come and say next time. You should say it's museum first and restaurant
Restaurant.
second.
Mm.
Restaurant is a small part of a larger idea, which is
I
a
agree.
cultural space. Come see the exhibitions, bring your children here. Unfortunately, in India, we don't have the museum culture where in the West, in States and Europe, people start queuing up
Correct.
7:30 in the morning outside museums. It shocked me when I said, "My God, what's happening?" And
Mm.
they come with families and children. It's a day out, and it's like about education and learning, and followed by good food.
Very nice. Uh, Aditya, we run out of time now, but I really want to say thank you. I mean, what an amazing journey you have taken me down, not just about your museum, your collection of 3,000 cameras and all the other ancillaries, but also about how you have built this museum. Thank you again and
Thank
good
you
luck.
very much, Ashutosh. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.